ego gets pressured when you're asked to stand up and sing and dance and hands up whose ego went, I don't know that I can do this. All of these weird people. I think that's sometimes our biggest challenge. Who did our stick exercise when you first walked in? Excellent. We had a few volunteers. What went on there? We asked to get this stick to the floor. Can we have our winner? The most starred person from yesterday. I'm going to show these other people how it's done. Let's show you how it's done. Come on. Could I get you, do you know what a stick is? Yeah, this is a stick. Can you put your finger out? One finger. Excellent. I've got one finger. We're just on the count of 3. We're going to bend our knees. We're going to put on the ground. Is that okay? 1, 2, 3. On the ground. Excellent. Give her a round of applause. So what happened when we had the other experiences? What was going on?
It was going up.
No communication.
Yeah. No communication. It was going up.
I was getting cranky.
And we have video footage of Karen Millers going, who's pulling it up? Who's pushing it up? Why aren't you listening? Where is the ground?
No one wanted to bend their knees.
When I first started in business, I was an accidental entrepreneur. I never wanted to be in business. Is anyone with me? An accidental person who's in their own business? I thought, when I grew up, I would work in a school as a counsellor, helping small kids get over bullying. And boy, did God have a different plan for my life. Okay, I got my degree, and then I head off and travelled around the world. And the first real role that I had was with a gentleman who was dying, and he was a multi-millionaire. And he was so angry that all of his family had disappeared, and they had to pay people to come and sit with him. And what it showed me was I had this degree in the behaviour of people, but now I had the opportunity to actually press in and ask, what should I never do so I don't end up anything like you? And he got a little twinkle in his eye, and he said, we'll start tomorrow. And there started my first mentoring experience. I got a real life multi-millionaire mentor who basically taught me that having money did not solve the problem without connection, without a team, without somebody on the other end of your stick who can listen to you and hear what you want. You want the stick on the ground. And for some of us, when we set goals, there's too many people cluttering the stick. And we think we want something and it goes in the opposite direction. Has anyone tried to diet and felt so depressed they stood on the scales, they went straight to the cupboard and ate carbohydrates? Okay? So I'm not alone, right? So we've all had an experience where we set a goal and then actually what happens is we get the opposite result because in our head there's too many voices. Am I the only person that has multiple voices in their head?
No.
Okay. I have this Nisu. Nisu never ever shuts up. Anybody else got Nisu?
Yeah.
I've got Lulu. Lulu's my ego, my alter ego says, I don't want to come here on a Sunday morning. I want to go swimming. I want to go and hang out with my 3 children and my husband. I don't want to come and speak to strangers. I don't like speaking to strangers. Anyone got a Lulu?
Yeah.
I don't want to go speak to strangers. I don't want to talk about what it is that we do. We have to shut these voices up by training them. And so for 25 years, I've been a sales trainer, and that was not my plan. My plan was never to be a sales trainer. You see, when I got home from looking after this elderly gentleman, I got an opportunity to start my very first business at 23. And it turned out I was so afraid of selling, I studied it so that I could no longer be afraid of it. Who's afraid of selling? Who actually gets a little bit afraid?
Yep.
Just me? No? There's a few that gets a little bit afraid. So what I've done is I wanted to distill all the information because now I'm no longer afraid. I don't feel scared because what I realise is if I'm offering someone an opportunity of value and they would like it, they're ready to take it. And if they don't want it, I wish them well and I wake up me and they wake up them. Does that make sense? I wake up me and they wake up them. And so from then on, all the psychological stress disappeared out of this process for me. Who would like to have no psychological stress ever?
Yes, please, Kate.
Okay, I'm going to teach you. Now, this is normally a 4-hour workshop, so when Karen said, can we do that in 1 hour? Sure, you're an accelerated learning group. What are you trying to do? What are you actually trying to do? I want you to think, what are you trying to do? You leave this weekend. Can I give you my stick? What are you trying to do? When I simplified the process and realised what I'm trying to do is build a team of people, and then I want to duplicate those teams. Is that pretty much what you want to do?
Yes.
You're trying to build a team of people. Now you might have a team of people that want to Lumi Spa together. You might have a team of... Oh, fabulous, I'm free. Look at this. Okay, so we're trying to build a team of people. When I was at university, we used to play... Anyone drink alcohol in this room? From the back of the room, they said they like to party, Lee said, on the dance floor. When I was at university on a budget, we used to put this game on a hills hoist. Who knows what a hills hoist is? Yeah. Who knows what the game is already? Yeah. So you put 4 bladders of wine on each corner and you spin the hills hoist and whatever lands in front of you, you had to drink from it, and you did that for 10 minutes and then you went out. Okay? That's just the visual of, this fast accelerated learning. I want you to picture a hills hoist. On the first corner, the reason why I find that people do not achieve their goals is they just don't do enough work.
Yeah, funny that.
So when I go in and I train, and this is like high-level sales, the head of Bloomberg Asia Pacific sales team, and I say, show me your diary from the last month. Most of the time, they're just not doing the work. It's got nothing to do with their psychological stress. It's got nothing to do with their test and measure numbers. It's got nothing to do with anything. They just haven't done the work. And so isn't that a relief? If work lands in front of you and you realise it's empty, I'm not doing enough work, maybe what we need to address is what are your numbers? What are the numbers that you're prepared to do leaving today and moving into the next 4 months? What are you willing to do? And I started to realise if I could have 5 quality conversations, belly to belly, heart to heart with somebody, and connect what it is that they are trying to do and help them, that my conversion rate was much better because I was getting momentum. Now to get 5, I had to book 8. How come people cancel? Is it just me? No. Are you going, am I the only one that I book an appointment and then the morning off someone says my child has diarrhea, my husband, can't look after the kids, or they just ghost you? Am I the only one? So you do the work, but you actually feel like to get 5, you have to book 8. Okay? And to book 8, you need a pipeline. Because it's not just 8 in 1 week, it's 8 every week. Agreed? Yeah. So the first thing is the work, actually understanding that there's a work. Now when you're doing the work, it's not enough just to show up and have a robotic conversation with people. If you don't know why you're doing what you're doing, then that creates psychological stress. I've worked with sales teams when I've said to them, why are you doing what you're doing? And they can't personalise it. They can't understand what is the dream. Who's got a nightmare they're running away from? Anybody got a nightmare? Can you tell us what that is?
Oh.
What's the nightmare you're running away from?
That's one of my nightmares.
What are you afraid of?
Oh, having to ever go back to work again.
Anybody else can relate?
Yes.
Hands up who can relate. You're running away from the thought of...
Yeah, I can totally relate.
What about you?
Me?
Yeah.
What am I afraid of?
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably afraid of moving up the line, actually.
Ooh, fear of growth.
Anybody can relate?
Yeah.
So when we actually realise around leadership and we think about the dream, what's the dream that we're working on, that's not a fear-based thing. That is a carrot, not a stick. So we've got to need a carrot, not a stick. A carrot, not a stick. And so if you could influence more people, then you influence people every day. We all know that it influences people every day, so yes.
Yes, we do.
And when we think our role, what we're trying to do is to build a team of people and duplicate that process. How exciting would it be to build 10 teams where those leaders you just mentor for half an hour a week and then you're free? So our first step in leadership, the work is to build ourselves. You need to build yourself. And do those things with self-mastery that only you can do, that you can't leverage out. And secondly, you need a dream to help others do that. So when you build a team of people and there's a leader, If you keep stepping over the top of that leader and micromanaging, what happens to that leader?
Disempowered.
They get disempowered, they give up, and they stop because they realise, well, if I can never be the empowered leader, I'll never have my own team and I'll never make my own mistakes. There's a great story that I heard about the boy with the Velcro shoes. Have you heard this story? Who's heard this story?
No.
So there's a boy at university and all of his shoes are Velcro. It's quite embarrassing. His friends say, what's with the Velcro? And he says, my father was so pained that I couldn't tie my shoelaces. I never learnt. And now I wear Velcro. So in my sales team, I got my son in prep had these really torn up Velcro shoes. And we framed them and we put them on the wall. And when my sales team came to me and said, they didn't show up, or they said no, or they challenged me, what do? I just point and say Velcro shoes. There are some things that you have to feel, and it's going to be uncomfortable. And if you don't have a dream, like tying your own shoelaces, at some point you get over the uncomfortableness and you sit down and you spend a few hours and you figure out how to do it. But only you can learn how to do it. Does that make sense? You need to learn how to dream. I can't dream for you. I went to Camilla yesterday because I said, if I'm going to teach dreaming, I need to dream. I took my husband into Camilla. Has anyone been brave enough to take their husband into Camilla? And he was like, this is ridiculous. There is nothing under $500. And who loves that feeling? When you bring your husband in, you say, well, yes, but I'm going to teach these women how to dream. So I need to buy something in this store.
That's irrational.
Isn't it? See how selling works now? Okay, so we've got to get the thinking right. If I don't have my husband on the journey, he's not going to support me in what I'm doing. If I don't have my husband on the journey to say, you know what? At some point, we need to recognise that to get the thinking right, in order to build a dream, in order to do the work, is how the process works. When you spin that clothesline, how many of you have got faulty thinking? Hands up who knows. Your thinking of what you're doing is not aligned.
Yep.
And that's really, to me, the key area of empowering people and working in sales teams is always asking you, what were you thinking when you did that? Not with judgment, with curiosity and compassion. What were you thinking when you did that? Because I'm more interested in what's going up here. If you feel like you're a victim, if you feel like this is hard, if you feel like you're challenged, what were you thinking? Because what we're thinking changes our narrative, which changes the story, which changes our result. So I'm always thinking, I'm a leading learner. I'm a leading learner. I'm out there getting pummeled in the sales world, so I can come and stand in front of you beautiful people and be humble to say, it is hard. It's hard every morning at 5 a.m. to get up and do my affirmations and do my breath work and do my meditation and eat the right nutrition and then go for my walk, and it's about 4:50. Right? Because if I don't get a jump start on the day, I'm not able to cope with the amount of psychological stress that's coming at me. The thinking of that first 45 minutes in the day for me, when I had a big dream and a big goal, was critical. You've got to work on your thinking. Affirmations. Who does affirmations? Who thinks they're stupid? Yeah, you don't even matter what you think about them, because we know scientifically, when I was trained in affirmations, we had to stand out in the ocean and we had to yell it to the ocean of abundance. We had to scream out, I am a powerful warrior, I am a size 10 sexy babe, and then people are walking their dogs innocently past going, you're a freaking psycho and you're not a size 10. So it wasn't about the feedback, my feedback, their feedback, it was trusting the universe, You would think you're crazy. You know what I realised though? After 2 years, I joined a franchise where they taught us about affirmations. And out of the 23 in the room, they said only 3 of you will make it. And do you know what I thought? I wonder who the other 2 are. That was my instant thought. I wonder who the other 2 are. And we walked out of the room, they said, you'll make it. And I said, well, yes. Who else do you think will make it? It was never a consideration that I wouldn't achieve what it is that I set out to achieve. Have you got that level of clarity? Do you believe at that level of clarity? That's the level that you're going to need. Right? So thinking right. And the final one, when we spin the Hills hoist, if we look up and see what's in front of us, is it empty, is it full? Have you set a goal? Like this beautiful lady who got 2 stars for writing it in pen and putting a date on there. Have you set a goal? And it's not just about setting any goal. Have you thought about the people skills that it's going to take to build that team? It's going to take people skills to build a team. And so I want us to think about success is writing a goal, but it's backing it up with a strategy. You've got to have a strategy for what does it look like when I bring on, 2 leaders, 5 leaders, 10 leaders, and what's the pace with which I can do that when I'm prepared to work. Yep? Helpful?
Yes.
I want us to have a scribe. Who's got great writing and can spell? Thank you. Come on up. Give them a round of applause.
Yeah, good start.
Okay.
Gold star.
I'm going to have a red pen. Okay, so I would like you to call out what are the first words, beliefs that come to mind when you're at a party and someone, you say, what do you do? And you say, I'm a salesperson. Call them out. What do we believe must be true about that person?
Pushy.
That they're a pushy. Can you write pushy?
Walk away.
Oh,
Dodgy.
dodgy. Pushy, dodgy. We like that.
Pressure.
Pressure.
Just a beautiful writing.
That's a hard one to spell. He really did that to realise. Yes. Out to get us. Disingenuous. You can put F7 down the bottom, and if you don't spell it right, press that and it auto-corrects. Amazing. Just put an F7. Just an F7.
Confident. Confident.
Confident.
What do you sell?
Oh, so doubtful. Are you? What's the belief in someone is a salesperson? What's the belief? Not the question, but what's the belief? I'm a salesperson. Knowledgeable. Manipulative.
Oh,
Now we're
brave.
going to draw a line after we write manipulative. And we're going to draw a line. And now what I want you to think about, what are your actual beliefs around customers? When I was trained in professional sales, I was taught that the customer is always right. Put a line down there. We're going to now challenge that belief. What do you believe around customers?
They don't know what they don't know.
They don't know anything.
They don't know. That's not what I said.
They want everything for free.
No, they don't know
They'll
what
get
they
gold
don't know.
stars and get into drawer. They love that stuff. What else do we thank you, Karen? What else do we leave about customers?
They just Google everything.
Yeah, they just Google it and they try to be the Monday's
The
expert.
expert.
They're time wasters. Yeah, we want to put that down. Yeah, they want band-aid fixes. Do you have a pill that I can take and I'll be a size 10 sexy belt? Yeah.
They're
Cheapskates, aren't they? Cheapskates. Oh, they're so obnoxious. Yeah, obnoxious. Now, my mother always taught me, you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
I want you to think about your beliefs around goods and services, right? So when I went into the coaching profession, she took me straight to Colours and Patty and I dropped $3,000. And she said, that will pay you back tenfold. Because her belief was if you buy quality, it lasts longer.
Quality over quantity.
Okay, so that's a belief around goods and services. Quality over quantity. What other beliefs do we have?
Less is more.
Oh, see, here they come. Less is more. What do you believe around goods and services?
Must have value.
But if it costs more,
Value as much as lifestyle.
Value. Explain that belief to me.
Well, goods and services, you only want to buy that unless it's going to give you something that's going to benefit your own life.
Yep. So what's the belief underlying that? Go deeper into your belief.
You want to buy junk. Yeah, value for money.
Value for money. Okay, so we want to challenge our beliefs because this is really the source of where we find the biggest issues in selling. When we go into corporations, I'm working with engineering firms like building companies, multiplex, accounting firms, law firms. What's their perception of their goods and services?
Expensive.
Expensive. Okay, we want to deliver high quality for high value at high cost. Do you want your building to be of high value?
Yes.
Do you want the roof to stay on? Do you want the dams not to overflow?
Yes.
So we've got to challenge ourselves when we say, quality for money or value for money. Do we actually believe that when we're out there representing our product?
And results, real results.
So what's the belief of goods and services around results? Do you get results for free?
No.
Normally? So we've got to challenge our beliefs around our goods and services. Can we give our scribe a big
Yeah.
So, one of the things that I would suggest to you is your biggest issue that you're facing right now is that these are clashing. When you step out onto the planet and you go and share your business plan with prospective team members, you feel like you're being pushy, dodgy, pressuring them and disingenuous. And then you meet them where they're at, which is they don't know anything, they're going to Google everything, they're going to waste your time and they want a cheap, fixed solution to their passive income issue. And bang, we have a values clash. So by actually understanding some of the work that you need to do today is to go deeper into those values and assess them and identify where did they come from? Where do beliefs come from? Do we know?
The itty bitty shitty committee inside your head.
Karen's comes from the itty bitty shitty committee.
Subconscious beliefs.
Yeah, so where do they
Parents.
come from?
Childhood.
Parents.
Society.
Our beliefs come to us from others. Our beliefs come from others. The world is flat, the world is flat, the world is flat. Christopher Columbus, turns out it's round. Okay, it's round. Who changed? Okay, you tell me it's round. You're more knowledgeable. I trust you. Your beliefs come from others. That's why having these weekends are so critical. Because alone you might not believe, but collectively, can you doubt the fact that it works?
No.
Okay, when Karen walked into my life in 2002, I'm like, wow, that woman is confident. Would we all agree she's confident?
Yeah.
I love to hang out with confident women. When I looked at the work ethic, I'm like, wow, she has good work ethic. And she was seriously ambitious because she invested thousands of dollars on my coaching program to get into the itty bitty shitty committee. And so when we're ambitious because we dream and we want more, the fourth aspect is to be teachable. Will you put yourself in environments that are uncomfortable to be able to learn and grow in areas that you've never been able to learn and grow in? And that's why it's my pleasure to come and give back to Karen. And all of you. You see, it's that law of reciprocity. If you help somebody else, naturally they want to help you to achieve. And so the shape of your sales is really important. And when I mean the shape, I mean it changed. Who knows that before September 11, in the sales process, it was really important to understand about product knowledge. Was anyone in sales in the 80s and 90s? We would go to this thing called a sales congress, and it was $2,000, and Zig Ziglar, and all the big American rah-rah salespeople would come to the convention centres around Australia, and we would pack thousands of people in to learn the art of selling. And what we learned was that the shape of sales was like a diamond. In that, it was not important to have much rapport building. What mattered was your level of product knowledge. So you're not selling a 4-blade mower, you're selling time. It's going to save you time on the weekend, and that's why you want this mower, because this has anti-rust capability which will last for 20 years. Do you know I did a 4-hour training session on corduroy? Corduroy is measured in Wales, and it's better than denim, and it's softer, and it travels better. Now, hands up anyone wearing corduroy today.
It's too hot.
Do you think corduroy beat denim in sales?
No.
No. It's too hot. It doesn't dry. It's not functional. Why do we all buy denim? Does anybody know why we buy denim?
Cool. Trendy.
Versatility.
It's tough. It lasts a long time.
If you figure that out, you've now learned what sales is about. Because the shape of sales changed. We used to say, if they don't buy on the spot, never follow them up. Sales is 80% emotion. And if you don't get them on the hook right now, you've lost them forever. That's what we were trained and that's what we believed was true. And then something happened in 2001. Can anybody remind us what happened in 2001?
Global.
2 buildings are hit.
Yeah. When the Twin Towers collapsed, there was a moment in time that we all went, wow, we're actually way more connected than we realise we are connected. The whole world shifted on its axes, and we realised that as we reassessed what was important, we thought, you know what, if I've got a little bit of money to give, I want to give it to somebody who I know, like and trust. If I've got a resource that I can have, then I want to serve somebody who has served me in the past. And in that moment, the shape of the selling came to an hourglass, not a diamond. And it was, you know, I was in Flight Centre, I had 2 flight centres, we were turning over $7 million. In 5 years, I built 73 different combinations of sales team. And on that morning, my neighbour was like, turn on your TV, turn on your TV. I thought he was crazy. What is going on with my crazy neighbour? And just in time to see the Twin Towers collapse and realise what was going to happen to the asset that I'd created.
Gone.
So when you own and all your eggs are in one basket, and all those baskets have just disappeared, my number one focus was customers. I had customers all over the world and airspace shut down. And so my role at 3 a.m. was to get into the office and look at all of the customers across all of my team and identify who was where and try to source them and get them home with their bags or hire cars or what have you. And for 6 weeks, that's what we tried to create, a new kind of normal to say, it'll be fine, we're going to scale, we're going to get through this. But what do we know happened? Ansett, our major partner airline in Australia, followed by 31 airlines like dominoes, down they fell, they all went out of business. So when your partner goes out of business, what does that do for your team's confidence?
Yeah.
And then SARS. Oh, do we remember that announcement? Now you can never travel to Asia because SARS came out, this weird virus that was affecting everyone in Asia, stop sell Asia. You know, life is going to hit you with a decision point, and I realised that just because I'd done all the right things and I was a good girl and I'd learnt the rules and I'd mastered this business model, can traditional business let you down?
Yes. Yes.
Life can happen. You can get sick, your partner can get sick, things can challenge you and you have to open your mind. Do you know, I had a thought, I am too old to learn anything new, and I was 27. I remember thinking, I only know this CRM. I don't know the internet, the interweb. I don't know how to use technology. I don't understand what I can be doing. And luckily, I had a mentor from Flight Centre who introduced me to network marketing. Luckily for me, she thought of me. She was at Sales Congress. She said, hey, I've got an opportunity for you. I thought she meant I'd go do sales training for her organisation. And when she sat down and shared, you know, a different way of thinking, a different way to mobilise my resources and my skills, I was open. Are you open? You've got to be open. Okay, so the shape of sales changed. I started to build long rapport. Are we good for time, Karen?
No, I'm just worried about it's hot in here. Quiddy, is the air conditioning on? Or? Oh, she's trying to get it sorted.
Got you.
Okay,
We're getting
thanks.
the air
Sorry.
conditioning sorted out, right? I thought it was just hot because it was so good.
That too.
Thank God.
So
Okay,
nice
so
turn, sexy babe.
we've got to remember, in our rapport building, you cannot show up pushy, dodgy, pressured and disingenuous. You just can't. Agreed?
Yeah.
As well, you can't presume the person that you're talking to doesn't know anything and they're a time waste and they want a quick fix. Agreed?
Yes.
We agree we've got to get rid of these limiting beliefs. Let's get rid of them. Let's just make a decision that we're going to do that. Has anyone ever gone to a play and missed the first 2 acts and then realised they have no idea what's going on? You know when you're like, I think I fell asleep in that movie and I woke up and went, oh, they solved it. How did they solve it? I missed an aspect. I want you to think about that when you're going in to connect with prospects. Some of you are jumping in at Act 3 and they are very confused when you leave. They have no idea what just happened. It was a very interesting experience. And Dwayne Sparks really educated me about the process. And so when I started to build my network marketing business, I started to realise, you know, the most important act was Act 1. What was my objective? That was the most important thing, because at the end of my life, remember, I didn't want to end up like Mr. Z, the billionaire who had to pay someone to sit with him because he was so angry. My objective was my purpose, was my one overriding calling. And you all have a calling, and then this is an assignment within that calling. You have one calling, and then you have many assignments. And this assignment today that you're being opted in for is an opportunity. But you have a calling. And if you can connect to that calling, to me, I understand when I go into a room, I want to be in a mystery of light. I don't want to worry about the darkness. If there's evil people in the room, I want to shine a light right on that and go, why is that shadow side driving you? What are you afraid of? Why is your ego kicking up when we're just asking you to stand up and sing a funny song? What is that? What is that voice? Is that Nisu that never ever shuts up and you're a good little girl but you did everything right and the Twin Towers collapsed and you lost all your money? What was that Lulu who said, well, you have to learn something new and go out and learn something better? And Lulu said, I don't want to. I want to stay. I want to stay where it's safe. And what's happened for people who stayed where it's safe versus people who let down and tried something new? And over 10, 20 years, I'm 51 now. Thank goodness that thought at 27 did not win. That thought I had was a thought, but thoughts are like clouds. They sometimes block the sun, but do we doubt that the sun will never come out again? The sun will come out again, you're just in a storm. Hands up who's had those dark clouds, those dark stormy clouds that say, what the hell do I think I'm doing here? I don't belong, I don't fit in, I can't do this, I can't set a goal, certainly not in pen. Okay, so our objective is to become the best you that you can be. What if your objective is just to become the best that you can be? I get goosebumps all over. Did anyone just get goosebumps all over? What if your only objective is to be the best you that you can be? Then does it matter if they say yes, no, maybe, whatever? It doesn't matter, because you show up and you go through the process as if you're in a play and Act 1 is done and we move on to Act 2. And being the best you that you can be means if you connect with somebody and you use your people skills to connect with them and you don't like them, guess what? You don't have to work with them.
Yeah.
Isn't that freeing? Act 2 is, I don't think we are going to get on. And you say, you know what? It's lovely being meeting you. I don't want to waste your time. I'm getting a feeling that there is nothing here we have in connection, and I want to wish you a happy life. And you leave. Right. As soon as I learned that, is if I use my people skills and someone just does not like me, you know, you can do no right to the wrong person. And you can do no wrong to the right person. And that is freeing. Because I've made the biggest mistakes and made a fool of myself and made errors and those people have been loyal and followed me for 15 years. And you think, God, I really didn't give them my A game. I wasn't the best person, but you know what? To the right person, you can do no wrong. If you connect loyally with somebody and they connect loyally with you, then ask the best question, what are you afraid of? What do you want? Let's get the boundaries, because you need to have that in your notes, that we need to understand that Lynn is a bit scared of going up the ladder to the next level of leadership. And for Karen, what was her nightmare? Going to a job. We need to remember that, because it's her words, not my words, not what I think she wants, but to say, Karen, I see this week you haven't got 5 appointments. A job is looking opportunistic right now. I'm sick. I can see there's an opportunity for the city of Gold Coast to get people mobilised. And she's like, no, Kate, no. Okay, so we need to agree on a need, and the need was, you want me to help you to build a team, and do you think she's done it pretty well?
Yes.
She's built a team, okay?
Great team.
She's got a great team. So we needed to agree on a need though, 8 appointments, even through COVID, even through the negative cloudy thoughts, even through when social media was a pain in the butt because we don't know how to use it, and we can't tap on and do Zoom meetings and social media, and now we're giving tickets and prizes away for the best videos and the best. Nailed it. Does that make sense? But if you didn't like Karen, you're probably going to not like what she's doing. If you didn't like Karen, you're probably not going to want to engage in her. So the order is you get your commitment objective right, and then you have to be the person. You have to become the person that people want to be around. So don't go and sell new skin. You need to go and connect with you skin. Right?
Beautiful. I like that, Kate. I'm going to use that.
Okay. All intellectual property is handed over when you work in network marketing. Okay, so sell the company. After you've sold the dream and the vision and the connection, then you say, basically, what I have discovered is this company gives the best opportunity based on what your need is. Why don't you just try it? Use the toothpaste. If you don't love it, I'll buy it back off you. It's not that scary, is it?
No.
You know, Tuesday night, we all get online naked. It's fun. So, sell the company, sell the company. So when we've sold the company, why do we sell the company before we sell the product?
Belief.
Trust. You trust the brand. Think about Apple, okay? Apple, when they first started, had little nano iPods, and they were selling nano iPods. Who owns a nano iPod now? Yeah, is it even charged? Mine is charged. I've lost the charger. I don't know what's on it, but I kept it because it's got videos of my little babies on there. But we don't even use nanos anymore. But hands up who has an Apple Watch? Who ends up as an Apple computer? Who hands up? Yeah. Who loves the interconnectivity of the Apple family? Now hands up my Samsung friends. Hands up who hates Apple because they're an Android diehard. Yes, see what happens?
Yeah,
So what happens is you create tribes. And there are other tribes out there that also believe network marketing is the best thing on the planet, but they're in a different tribe. But you have a product that they can't access. And so they already understand that the company distribution works. They already accept that working with teams of people works, and they already accept their code of conduct, which means I can never tell people I use this product, but I'm happy to buy it from you in the back end. Is that okay? Can you just take the points? Can you just have a wholesale customer?
Yep.
Could you just have a customer? Would that be helpful when you're going for a dream?
Yes.
Yeah, why don't you build 100 customers? 100 customers who can't get access to that product, but they already love the process. Hi, welcome. Finally, what I want you to think about is how often we don't know how to ask for a commitment.
Down the back room, I think Christy's got it.
And that's the next
which one's
act. When we start thinking we're selling the product, but we're actually asking, once you've met somebody, it's really important you say, so, would you like to get that every month or just a once-off? Who finds it difficult to actually ask for the commitment? This face here, look at that. So for me, I always say, you just want the product or do you want your dream? Do you just want the product or do you want to never have a job again?
Oh, Kate, I love that.
Do you just want the product or do you want to never ever be afraid of leadership ever again? Because we've got the training school, we've got the leaders, and we can help you to overcome your fears. What do you want? You just want a one-off thing or you want the whole package? And what we're trying to establish is think of life in a concentric circle. You're looking for about 100 people, and of those 100 people, about 20 of them are going to say, I want the dream, I want the whole package. And of those 20, about 3 of them are going to follow through. And that's your numbers. And once you get comfortable with 3%, 3% of people are going to follow through, you're looking for 97 people to fail at their goal. And 97 people will fail at their goal, and you will succeed. Because remember, only 3 are going to make it. Only 3 are going to make it. So, you and who are the other 2? You and who are the other 2? So every time I'd go connect with someone and they would tell me they want the dream and they want the whole picture and they want to retire healthy, enlightened millionaire, I would get in the car and I would do myself a SWOT analysis. Who's heard of a SWOT analysis? Okay, so this is the final act. This is replaying what just happened. And the way you're going to get better at this is you send those SWOT analysis to your upline mentor. Okay, and you go through the data. I have once shown up to a sale and not had a pen, and that sits in the weakness column. How can you sign somebody up to something if you don't have a pen? Can you imagine how humbling it is when they say, yes, Kate, I'd like to go ahead, and you're like, great. That's sat in the weakness column. Okay, so I want us to go low here today. What are the worst things you did that your Nisu is going crazy? How do you think you're going to build a team? You can't even bring a pen, you stupid idiot. And it's going to replay the call. And you have to get that voice out of your head onto a piece of paper under weaknesses and threats, weaknesses and threats. I just said, well, great. I want you to write down the 5 things that I can help you to achieve in the next 12 months. I'm going to run to the toilet, and when I get back, we're going to go through those one by one and show you what you need to do. Went to concierge, may I have a pen? Thank you. Went to the toilet, had a pen, right? You figure it out on the run. You figure it out as you go. But I had them do an activity, because if I know their 5 dreams, then I'm leveraging through them. Make sense? What are you great at? Get really good at writing down after every meeting. You know what I'm great at? Showing up. That's a strength. Other people quit. I keep showing up. That's a strength. And it's also an opportunity. You need to start working together around your strengths and your opportunities. I would love for us to spend 2 minutes. I want you to write down your objective. Right now, what is your commitment objective to you, to your dream? What's the thinking we need to work in? I want us to go back to look at what work are you prepared to do, what's the number 1 dream you want to achieve, what thinking might you need to change, and what goal are you going to set? And you can just free write. This can be a paragraph. You know how I do it? Dear Kate, you are being the best you that you can be. Your role is to go out and shine the light on lots of people and be able to be vibrant and healthy to the best of your ability. It's a purpose statement. You know, you're celebrating with your 3 kids as you swim with dolphins on your 52nd birthday. You know, build up a dream. Okay?
How did you start that off again? Dear Kate, how did you start that off again?
Don't use my dream. Get your own dream.
Karen said, and what did you write again? Oh, get your own dream. Yes, so commitment objectives. Today, I am the best me that I can be. I'm stepping out to connect with 5 amazing people. I'm going to make 11 calls. I'm going to have a great attitude. I am confident, hardworking, ambitious. I'm teachable. I'm celebrating with my 3 kids on my 52nd birthday by swimming with dolphins. I love my life. I take my supplements. I drink 2 litres of water. I do 30 minutes of cardio.
Can I come on the dolphin swim?
We'll see. Does that give you an idea? Who do you need to become? What do you need to do? What do you want to have? If you can make a generic one before you're going into these meetings, you just send to yourself, what is your commitment objective? You will until the people will arrive based on the level of attention you're giving your dream. More seconds. 60 seconds. Okay, I want you to turn to someone. I want you to share. Share your commitment objective with somebody close to you. Share your commitment objective. And I want this person to be your unreasonable friend. Challenge them. Be a friend, but be unreasonable. Hey, is that really what it is you want to achieve?
Financial freedom, stress less, grow personally, business growth, help others to do the same. To calm I'm all around. I did. So I'm going to step out of comfort zone, meet easy time, improve mindset, and I'll just write it through like what I need to do.
I meditate every morning, clear my mind for the day. I speak to people about how people how they can take money and their dreams. I want to be more time free.
I change my word to I am. I am. Now I am is more power. And it tells your subconscious that you're already doing this. So we don't want to be doing this. I am. I am. How would we measure improving your people skills? I'm talking to 8 people a day. I'm doing 11 outbound calls. I am. So actually, let's put a goal around it. Yeah.
Definite purpose statement. So what's that? Is it just asking us to do it?
I think so. I think she's talking about our commitment to ourselves. And then I think then we can figure out what we're going to do. And so I think that's that first thing there, because then the second thing is what the people skills. Yeah. So which you already have. No, you do. You definitely do. I feel if you think there's something you should work on, then you would know that. I think I have them as well. But I don't have clarity on my objective. So I think like the journey will help me. What did you write, Cindy?
Well, I've changed it because I am.
Oh, so that's what she's saying. I didn't do that either.
Yeah, I am. That's what I said. Like I said, I want to improve my people skills. And she said that change it to I am. Talking to 8 people a day. I am phone calls or whatever. I am sharing this awesome opportunity. I am meditating with community support my life. I am speaking to people about how they can make money and live their dreams. I am
Yes. And you know as well, so I wrote the thing that I am. And I think that, you know how you talk about
1, 2, 3, eyes on me. Thank you. See, I should have worked in high school. So Liz is going to make 50 calls per day. Can you give her a round of applause? Only 50. She has a list of 4,000 and she's going to be a billionaire. Can we give her a round of applause? When you allow people to dream, who knows that just released them to just say what they actually wanted. It's just like, you know what, I'm not looking for anyone here's approval, but also I'm not looking for judging myself either. Who's met someone who makes more than 50 calls per day? You all have, by the end of today, meet Liz. And I used to coach a woman, and she was the number 2 franchisee in all of Mortgage Choice. And I went in as a coach and said, so can you tell me a little bit about your business? She said, I make 80 to 100 calls per day. And I was like, she goes, is that wrong? So I had to check my face. I said, every day? Every day. Wow, is it any surprise she was number 2 within...
What did number 1 do?
What was number 1?
Well, she owned an area where the average dollar sale on houses was $323,000. And the number 1 franchisee's average sale was $3.4 million.
Wow.
So she just picked a corridor where she knew, you know, she could get volume because it's much easier to buy a $350 house than it is to buy a $3.5 million house. So we've got to be thinking, you know, what is our limiting beliefs? And my limiting belief was nobody makes 100 calls a day, and her reaction to me was, is that wrong? It's like, it's not wrong, it's amazing. I'm going to tell that story everywhere. So when we start realising that hanging out with winners can help you to win, when you listen to that other person's commitment objective, who realised they were saying, I want to, as opposed to I am. Our commitment objective is set in present tense as an affirmation. So you're one of those weirdos, you're going to call it out to the ocean. Okay, I am, because your subconscious does not know what's real and what's not real. Your brain has neuroplasticity. You've got to create a new neural pathway. And the only way you can do that is strong repetition belief. So the way you think about it, in summer, you've got to get to the clothesline. You don't want to mow the whole grass, so you just mow one little strip to the clothesline and back. Has anyone seen those lazy houses? We're just going to mow to the clothesline and back, and let every other thought just go. Because that's the focus. We want a new pathway. We want to go against the grain. Don't worry about the jungle out there. Focus on your pathway. And keep mowing it back and forward, back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. And eventually, you will create the change that you're looking to create. And you'll wake up and realise, oh, I'm living that dream. I'm living that dream. And that's how you raise leaders. So it's really, you shouldn't be afraid of raising up leaders. First, we master ourselves. We lead ourselves in self-mastery, and then we lead leaders. We lead leaders to self-mastery, and then we lead leaders of leaders. How many leaders of leaders are you able to lead? And that's the power of networking. You want to hand it over when they're about 70% competent. They'll never do it as well as you. They've got to not have Velcro shoes, so they need to feel that 30%. Conscious incompetence is a healthy growth tool in leadership. Right? Let them make mistakes and celebrate their mistake. Celebrate it. Look on your SWOT analysis. You're never going to have strengths without balancing out weaknesses. You're never going to have opportunities and not run into threats. That's leadership. So accept that. The other thing that I make sure that everybody who is, you know, within a coaching program understands what their chart of accounts looks like. Which means if you're in a traditional business, hands up who owns a traditional business here. In a traditional business, you will print out your profit and loss. And on your profit and loss, you have a chart of accounts, which basically says, this is what I sell. Now, couldn't you do that within your business?
Yeah.
How many Lumi Spas? How many Age Lock? How many health clients? Like, put down the left-hand column, your chart of accounts, and then what we want to do is in the year, we say, I want 1 of those a month, 2 of those a month, 4 of these a month, and 1 of these a month. And we just get our mindset around what it is we're being held accountable to. And if you think over 12 months, you want to sell 12 Lumi Spas, is that a decent result?
Absolutely.
12 a year, 1 a month. What if you got 2 in the first month? Keep going. Maybe your limiting belief is, maybe I could do 2 a month every month, or you've got a month up your sleeve. Depending on your level of thinking. To me, I would rather get ahead of my selling each quarter and give myself a year-to-date goal which equals my dream. Give myself a year-to-date goal, which says, okay, in a job, what's the most you ever earned at the post office?
In the post office?
Yeah, how much? Like $32 for the year?
It felt like it.
Yeah, when you go to the post office, you don't make a lot of profit.
No.
Okay? No.
$700,000 we had to pay off first.
Yeah, so you start minus 700,000, and then you work for 10 years with your loved ones, and that can be challenging. Who works with their partner? Yeah.
Not anymore.
Okay. So one of the things that I realised was, as a person who had been married for, 31 years, when I stood up in front of female founders, they said, "Whoa, can you back up and just tell me how you stay married?" That was a big skill. We talk about a skill. Some of the activities was taking my husband dream building to Camilla, right? Like that is an activity that drives sales. Because whilst I was at Camilla, we visited Nike Town. And when we're in Nike Town, I'm like, when you do your activities, we can come back and buy your shoes. When we start to have activities, we start to realise that if you want whatever you want, I'll help you to achieve it. You just need to do these activities. Sell one of those and two of those, and we'll come back together and we'll buy your shoes. Won't that be fun? And if they don't want to do the activity, then what?
Let's get the shoes.
You don't get your shoes? What? How do you think you're going to get your shoes? Hands up who feels the resistance right now. Who can go, imagine saying that. That's how I've raised my 3 children. My 3 children is, every Monday night, I want you to tell me things to consider. We have a things to consider folder. They each have a blank page. And on Monday nights, my husband and I go into the office and they do all the dishes. And we consider the things that they want. And so we have to fight it out, right? Because my daughter wanted musical lessons and dancing lessons and theatre lessons, but my sons are athletes, and so they need shoes and coaches and nutrition. And so whilst we're having dinner, I taught my daughter how to become a banker. I said, so you just say to your brothers, if they don't give you permission, you come to me, you need $2, I'll give it to you, you pay me $2.20 when you have it. She makes 20% interest off her brothers. So I taught Michaela how to say, you want $1? Come to me first. I'll only charge you $1.10. How often they ring her, can you spot me $100? She goes, it'll cost you $120 if you want it today. Done. Bang! She just made 20% interest.
I love Michaela.
Okay, so I wanted her to know that tension. You could be the bank of Michaela because you're the oldest, so you get a job first. One of my main goals was to empower females around money consciousness. Because one of the things I learned from that multi-millionaire is he's like, you have to learn how to think. And I'm going to teach you how to think like a bank. So don't just have a bank, own shares in the bank. Makes sense, doesn't it? Don't just use any bank, buy shares in the bank that you use. Clip the ticket multiple times. At New Skin, why would you use any other program? Why would you use any other product? You own the company.
That's right.
Why would you use any other toothpaste? Why would you use any other moisturiser? You own the company. It'd be like owning shares in Commonwealth Bank and banking with Westpac because they have a cheaper mortgage. Do you get the thinking? Yeah. The thinking around what you're doing has to come from here. You have to believe in what you're doing. And I said to my daughter, we're going to get you a loan. She goes, I don't need a loan. I said, trust me, you're going to need a loan. And the best time to get a loan is when you have savings. And it took us 4 bankers to approve her a loan at 18 years old. 4 bankers, including executive premium banker who I was friends with, to say, reject, get it back in line, reject, get it back in line, reject, get it back in line, until she got her first loan. Why is it important to teach your daughters to get loans when they've got savings?
So they've got a history.
You need a history of winning. You need a credit rating and you need to have them track record. You going a leader, is that what it's called? Leaders Club? What's the first level of your leadership?
Brand representative.
When you become a brand representative, you build credit. You have to do it first. You have to get rejected, go back, try again, rejected, go back, try again, rejected, and you keep going until it's approved. You need to build the credit. You've got to have the conversations that are awkward and you get rejected and you get challenged, because by paying off that loan every single week, what is she now taught? That banker.
That
I'm
you
a
can
responsible
submit it.
woman, now I want a car. Okay, I've got the car loan, I've paid the car loan out. Now I want to travel to Italy. I've got my ticket to Italy. While I'm in Italy, why not go to Egypt? It makes sense to me. Makes sense to anyone else.
Me too.
When you're in Italy, you might as well go to Egypt because you're 19, and what are the chances of you getting to Egypt from 30 to 50?
Little.
0. Okay, so when you're young,
Not if she's with new skin.
and how many of you are in New Skin for the travel?
One of the reasons.
One of the reasons.
Some of you. How many in it for the money? How many are in it for the community? So we need to know what your commitment objective is. But I am wealthy, I am successful, I am my own bank. Your activities that drive sales need to be plotted on an actual diary. When are you going to do these activities? Anyone got burnt out before? Anyone been burnt out, like physically just gone, I'm done, I can't do any more because you're burnt out? So we really want to encourage you, state what it is, what you're doing, when you're doing it, and create your leadership process. Make sure it's a leadership process. If you're building this business, how many hours are you dedicating per week? It's not a hobby. You can't just build it as a hobby or you'll get hobby income. If you treat it as a hobby, it'll be hobby income. And if you want a hobby, I suggest that's a wonderful thing to have. But I don't expect my hobby to pay me to get out of my job. So there's no judgment. If it's a hobby, it's a hobby. But if it's a professional income and you want to work in a professional income and be paid as a professional, you probably have to show up at certain portions of the day and do the things that you know you need to do. So put boundaries around that time and own that time. You know, my husband said, let's go for a walk on the beach Sunday morning. I said, I'm working on Sunday morning. Oh, okay. He's not challenging me, I'm working. He knows. I set time out and then I'll have extra time off during the week because I own my time and I own my life. Do you own your time? Do you own your life? And people are going to think you're weird. My mum used to say, again? You're working again. And I said to her, do you think Celine Dion's mother says that? Oh my God, again? You're leaving again at 3 o'clock? And she's like, well, yes, Mum. That's when people see concerts. They go out at night. And Celine Dion every day says, yes, Mum, again. I'm going out again. Why are you working at night time? Because people can't come to concerts from 10 in the morning until 1 p.m. Would you agree? You have to work where the customer is. And the customer is usually available at certain pockets in your week. So put those pockets out and all Luke's mine make it on Tuesdays. Okay, so when we put the pocket out and we do the activities and we leverage our time. Does everyone know what I'm talking about when we limit our naked?
Yes.
If you don't, you should check it out. Okay, so activities that drive sales. So what are your activities and how do you gather? So questions for Kate. Any questions? If you had a question, what would it be? Any question?
Have you written the book?
Have I written a book? I have, yes. Millionaire Coach. And so it was how to take people through to millionaire. But what I actually am really passionate about, I don't think people sit down and read as much as they should. And so what I wanted to do was an empowerment process. So I recorded 52 sessions to sit on your shoulder instead of Nisu, instead of Lulu, and you can tap in for free anytime. And there's 52 30-minute sessions, and I'll gift it to you at the end if you ask me 2 more questions. Yes.
So what happens when life happens around you? We're empowered, we've got our thinking, we go home and stuff happens.
Yes, I call that backwash. It's so good to be in this safe environment, everything feels cushy and cozy, and we know what we're going to do, and then you get home and poof, you get a child with influenza A tomorrow, followed by a father with 3 heart attacks in hospital, followed. Anyone get what I mean? Like, you will be challenged. What I do is I expect that resistance is going to come, and trust that the backwash is there just to challenge my commitment. My mindset is I will get backwash. And when I get backwash in my mind, I say, well, I bet everyone quit, so I'm going to be one of the 3. How do I keep pushing through in this moment? So just because my dad's in the hospital, guess what? There are sick people in hospital that would like to be well. So I can talk to nurses, I can talk to physios, I can talk to cardiologists. Do you love your job? Do you love coming here? I bet you love working in the sickness industry. You can talk to people wherever you are. That's the beauty of your business. So take those activities and just keep hitting those daily targets, and life will happen, and yes, things are going to happen. But it doesn't mean that tomorrow the same thing's going to happen. So I have a red button in my house called a reset button. It's a red button. It was literally a red dot on the wall, and I would press it and reset. Reset my attitude, reset the challenges that have come. I taught my children. You might have not done great behaviour. There it is. Karen's got on her phone her reset button. I say, you might not have done great behaviour, but that doesn't mean I don't love you, the person. You separate the person from the behaviour. So, sit down and think. If you're 5 years old and you hit your brother in the head, sit down for 5 minutes and consider the consequences of your behaviour. And then press the reset button, forgive yourself, and go and let's play again. But I had to press the reset button as the mother to forgive her for hitting her brother in the head again. Okay, so when you are a leader of leaders, you have to press the reset button. Just because people aren't moving in the momentum and direction that you want them to doesn't mean they never will. You have to reset and go maybe next quarter, maybe next month. Just keep going. Does that help?
Yes. Yes, so I want to add to that.
Yes.
So I've lived that numerous times over to the point where, you know, especially after COVID, the trauma bonding within the body, like I'm facing now trauma bonding in the body, that certain things, especially when it comes to sales, putting myself out there, I seem confident, like just now talking, I seem confident, but my heart is racing with the anxiety.
Wow.
And so there's this emotional blockage that to put myself out there after trauma, and being that person that was not the problem solver, the solution, you know, the fixer, even in my own business.
Who else has that? A strong mask. People think you're confident, but underneath your heart's racing and your mind's racing. So I want us to identify the story we're telling ourselves is really important. If you had a cold and you cured the cold, you would not have a cold anymore. Does that mean you'll never get a cold again? No. So trauma, when it's in the nervous system, needs to be expressed. So boxing, running up soft hills, working with an exercise physiologist, a PT, doing something that moves your body beyond it, releases it from the nervous system. So whenever you feel that fear, if you are having heightened heart, you need to do breath work. Sit still and breathe. And feel the emotion in the nervous system that was trapped in there. So breath work, if you're having heightened heart issues, if you're just busy mind, go and run. Run up a hill. And you'll be amazed when you get to the top of the hill, you'll burst into tears. Who's experienced this before? It comes out of the nervous system through perturbation. And so you move the body in the way that the body needs. So I would get expert help, work with a team of expert health professionals. Is there anyone here that's an expert health professional? All of you are expert health professionals. Okay, and you need to diagnose the challenge and get yourself some help.
Yeah, I think one of the positive contributions that I've learned around that is to have your top 10 people around
Yes.
that's got your back.
Build your
That's
team.
you and
Yes.
understand you well.
Yep, chiropractors, exercise physiologists, physios, psychologists, counsellors, spiritual healers, colour therapists. Trust me, hairdressers, very good.
Spray
Very
tan
good.
people.
There's your gift for today. If you scan the QR code, that'll take you straight to my link tree. On there, there's ways you can connect with me. There is a 52-week empowerment program. Those who are married or want to be married or don't want to be married, there is a couples in business organised argument. I'd encourage have the argument, both listen to it, and then every Monday on your things to consider, come there and say, what did you feel? What does Ken think? What does Kate think? And just leverage off our arguments. Right? And so hopefully that has been of help. Thank you, everybody.
Get up, get up, get up.
am the president of the I Love Cake Club. We actually have a Facebook
You
page.
just join our Facebook page.
Yes.
I would accept you. Oh, no, I would. I only have one follower, Karen.
I made a Facebook page a couple of years ago, and I sent it to Kate. I said it's the I Love Cake group. Can I tell the story?
Yeah.
So,
You can sit down.
yeah. So I don't want to take too long. So a few years ago, Kate and I used to have walks together. We still have walks together, but we had regular walks together. And I would cry on her shoulder, and she would help me verbalise how I felt, because I struggled with sharing feelings or sharing what I was thinking, because I grew up in a family with 8 kids, and there was never any time for why are you crying? It was just get over it. And so at 50-something years old, I couldn't even say why I was sad or what was going on, because I didn't know how. And so I met Kate 2002, I think, and I thought, wow, this girl knows how to talk and how to put her words into her feelings into words. And so I instantly wanted to be her friend. And luckily, I got to become her friend. First of all, she was a mentor and an inspiring woman for me, and then over the years became friends. Anyway, Kate, I was thinking that everybody must love Kate. And Kate was telling me a story of how these girls that she grew up with and went to school with used to meet up every year, and they would go on these great holidays and parties together and all that sort of stuff. And then one day she found out, quite by accident, that they had their own little club called the I Hate Cake Club. I Hate Cake Club. And I was shocked, because I didn't think anybody would ever think that. And Kate told me how sad she was about that, and how it affected you, but then how you also went up and talked to them. Yeah. She actually went up and said, I just found out that you have started you have a I Hate Cake Club. Why? So she
Built friendships with them all.
Yes. Yeah, and it was their own problems, of course, that they were jealous of my great friend Kate. And but she identified, talked to the white elephant in the room, and those people now are great friends, and some of them just don't have anything to do with anymore.
No, friends with all of them again, because for me it was, when you're bullied, it's often not about you. It's what happened to those girls when they were young. And I could see through that mask, and that was confronting for them. So the easiest thing to do was to ban up and say, let's go through her social media, she's such a show-off, she's this, she's that. Because they knew me when I was 12, right? So they knew a different version of me. And that's normal. As you become confident, those people who knew you when you were young might not want that. So to me, I just said to Karen, I'm going to confront it. And they were like, cut them off. I said, no, I'm not going to. I want to understand what I've ever done to them. And I apologised, took ownership, and one by one rebuilt the relationships. But 20 years. It took 20 years. So from 30 to 50. And I'm friends with all of them now. Yeah.
That's how amazing she is. So that day I went off and started a I Love Cake Club. Love you lot. Thank you. Again, a huge thank you.
My pleasure.
We love you, Kate.